A lot of people don't realize it, but animal shelter can refer to different things. Today we're breaking that down because if you're a pet owner, a future adopter, or someone who cares about animals in your community, this matters more than you think. This isn't about blaming any type of shelter or saying one's better than the other. It's important to know what's out there and what they do. Let's start with the one most people picture first, the municipal shelter, sometimes called city pound or city animal control. Sometimes it's just a holding pen. This shelter is run by your local government and it's funded by taxpayers. It operates under local law. That sounds reassuring, right? Government accountability, public funding, but here's the thing most people don't realize. Municipal shelters have a legal obligation to accept every animal that comes through the door. A stray picked up off the street, an animal surrendered by an owner, a cruelty case. They cannot say no. They are the safety net of last resort for the entire community. They're open intake, they have to be. Because of that open door mandate, they often operate under enormous pressure. Limited space, limited staff, limited budget, and yet municipal shelters are a necessary public service, one that is rarely funded like it. And in many municipalities, the law still defines a maximum holding period, after which an animal may be euthanized to make room. It's not cruelty. That is a system being asked to do an impossible job without enough resources. The people who work in municipal shelters are often deeply committed animal lovers. But their job legally and structurally is public safety and animal control first. The welfare of individual animals is a priority within that system, but it cannot always override the system itself. Now let's talk about the private or nonprofit shelter. This is an organization that operates independently. It's funded by donations, grants, adoption fees, and fundraising. They answer to a board of directors and to their donors, not to the city budget or the city council. Here's the key difference. Private nonprofit shelters get to choose who they help. They may specialize, only small dogs, only dogs deemed quickly adoptable, or only animals from cruelty cases. It's really up to them. They decide who they accept, and they can close to intake. They may have a wait list. They may only pull animals from the municipal shelter when they have space and resources to care for them well. This selectivity often allows them to provide a higher level of care per animal, more behavioral enrichment, more medical treatment, longer stays. Many operate as no-kill or limited intake shelters, meaning they commit to not euthanizing animals for space. Their donors often insist upon it, and that's admirable. But it's important to understand what that means on the ground. When a private shelter says no because they're full, because an animal doesn't fit their mission, because resources aren't there, that animal often ends up back at the municipal shelter. The city pound absorbs what the private sector can't or won't take. Neither model is wrong, but they're in a relationship with each other, and that relationship has real consequences. And in some counties, that relationship doesn't even exist, because in some counties, there is no municipal shelter at all. No animal control, no one whose legal job it is to pick up a stray, respond to a cruelty call, or take in a surrendered pet. In those places, the private or nonprofit shelter does what it can out of compassion, not obligation. They're not required to pick up strays. They're not required to take every surrender. And when they're full, there's simply nowhere else to go. The third model is newer and increasingly common. The hybrid shelter, sometimes called a public-private partnership. This is where a nonprofit organization actually manages the municipal shelter under a contract with the city. The city still owns the building, still provides some funding, typically not nearly enough, still sets legal requirements, but the day-to-day operations, staffing, and philosophy are driven by the nonprofit. The idea is to get the best of both worlds. The legal mandate and public funding of municipal animal control combined with the mission-driven culture and fundraising ability of a nonprofit. It can work beautifully. We've seen a few that work great. And it can also create real tension because when a nonprofit's values run up against the legal reality of a municipal contract, someone has to decide which one wins. And that answer isn't always clean. Sometimes the two exist in the same building as separate entities to support each other. We've seen that work well also. But we've also seen how the nonprofit side can keep their no-kill status by having the municipal side euthanize dogs. They seem like the good guys because they don't kill dogs, and the municipal side gets villainized for doing the job made necessary due to community behaviors. But the outcome for the dog was the same. Communities who pay taxes and vote should have a say in how their shelters are funded and run. Your animals matter. Strive to understand how they're cared for and funded. Speak up for them. If you want to get involved, know that every type of shelter needs support, just in different ways. Most importantly, keep asking questions. Talk to people who work there, talk to your neighbors, talk to your city council. Run for city council representative. These systems exist because communities built them, and communities can change them. Drop your questions or experiences in our comments. We'd love to keep this conversation going because the animals in these systems are counting on us to understand them better.